starts by sectioning out my hair. Do that. Okay, so I am, thank you for whoever gave me a like. I appreciate it. If you're able to comment, let me know if you're a follower, where you're at in the world. This is going to be a story time, because I know a lot of people think about Mercury retrograde and they think about, his hair coming up. Thinking it's soaking wet. Think about relationships and exes coming back. So I do currently have an ex that has been communicating with me, send me messages, for like a month, maybe 2 months now. This is an ex from like, I don't know, maybe 15 years ago. But the ex that I'm going to talk about today was from when I was 18, so the years of 18 to 21. But if you're experiencing an ex coming back during the Mercury retrograde, it's time to reflect, okay? So I'm not reflecting, I'm just sharing my experience, okay? I have not talked to the ex that I'm going to talk about in over 15 years. But it was still very traumatic for me. The ex now, that's happening, nothing bad happened in that relationship. Relationship was pretty healthy. Good morning, Mr. Takis. The relationship was pretty healthy. He just had some issues of his own. And I feel like, I don't know what's happening now, why he's coming back around, but I'm engaged. He knows I'm engaged and he's still reaching out. So my last correspondence with him was me telling him, hey, you know, I am engaged. You know I'm engaged, right? He's like, yeah, and then that was it. There's nothing else for me to say to him. He's been texting me, finding me on social media. People would ask, like, do you have him blocked? He's not harassing me, but it is something. But anywho, we're not talking about that ex today. We're talking about the ex. So I met this ex, we'll call him his name is Mike. We'll just say, because that's a fairly common name, very common. Mike and I met when I was 18, and it was right after high school. We met on MySpace, if you can believe MySpace. That's hilarious. MySpace. So, oh, and thank you for the congratulations, Uncle Nene, for my engagement. I appreciate that. Oh yeah, so I'm doing a wash and go with the Dew Bananas Gel. If anyone is interested. Oh, if anyone is interested. Slippery. It is slippery, but it's Bananas Gel. This is my second wash and go that I've done with this product. I do love it. I'm not gonna lie. It's just one product, just water. And this product is super hydrating. It says super shine and holding, extreme holding gel, sulfate and paraben free. It has banana leaf oil, bamboo oil, and agave. is pretty amazing, not gonna lie. Pretty Girl Elaine, welcome. So yeah, if you're interested in any of their products, I did include an affiliate link in my description. Yes, I do get compensated for it, but I will tell you that I'm never gonna promote products that I don't love and use. So if you're interested in trying out this product or any other product by the Do, check out my affiliate link in the description box, okay? Okay, so going back, okay, so I met Mike when I was 18 years old on Facebook. MySpace. Well, MySpace was the first social media app out there. And so he kept messaging me for, I don't know, a while. And so I was like, well, fuck it. Like, my plans were to go to Grambling State in Louisiana. So I was just like, okay, well, this could be like the summer fling before I head off to college. It's really nothing, you know, whatever. And so I connected with him, and the first time I met him, that should have been an indicator to me that something was wrong, because he had, like, when I met him, I wasn't really attracted to him. I mean, his stature, yeah, he was like 6'2". He was black and Mexican, dark, like maybe he was like a tone lighter than me, and he had straight hair, black straight hair. He reminds me of Blueface. Every time I see Blueface, I'm like, oh, he reminds me of Mike. Okay, so that gives you a look of what he looks like. I wasn't really attracted to him. I did like his height, and I did like his stature, where he was like, he had a thin form. But I noticed that he had like whites around his lips, like whites. And going back, it's because that should have been a red flag for me. I'll get to that. That should have been a red flag for me, although it wasn't. It should have been. So I'm just kind of like getting this into my strains, my hair. Oh, Israel, Laura, thank you. Thanks for the love. I appreciate that. Okay, so we met, and I was just like, okay, it's just something that's gonna keep my attention over summer, you know, whatever. And I think, I don't know, maybe I want to put this closer to me. I don't know. Should I have the camera closer, or is this okay where it's at? Comment, let me know. Do something else, why not? So 21, I found out quickly that he came from a very, very broken home. Okay, thank you, Uncle Nene. He came from a very, very broken home, and I had a lot of sympathy for him. I didn't come from a broken home, but I mean, I wasn't without dysfunction. So, I mean, you know. So anyway, so we start seeing each other, and then I'm 18 years old, so still a kid. And okay, so I started sneaking him in and stuff. And before I left, I thought I was never going to see him again, right? So I'm like, okay, cool. This was a cool little summer thing. Like, I'm leaving, you take care, good riddance. And so I went to Louisiana. Some things were happening with my mom, and I had to come back. And that was another thing all on its own. And so I come back and I resume that connection with Mike, and then it just that relationship was the darkest time in my life. The first darkest time in my life. It was the most abusive relationship I've ever been in to date. Years later, I found out that he was using crystal the entire time that we were together. I had no idea. We lived together. He would go and disappear on the weekends. I wouldn't know where he was at, and then come back. Or I would see him pacing throughout the house. I had no idea why he was pacing. He was just pacing. And I thought it was because he had ADHD, because he said he had ADHD. I come from a family of flower consumers and alcoholics. So I know what that looks like. I don't know what hard substances look like, right? So things go bad. I mean, bad. My grandmother found him hiding in my room one day, and that was a whole situation. Yeah, he was hitting the pipe. Yeah. I didn't even know about crystal until he had told me about it, because he had told me a friend of his was using crystal, and I was like, crystal? What's crystal? And so he told me, and that's the only reason I know what it is. I don't know what it looks like. I don't know what it smells like. I never saw any paraphernalia. Like, he didn't try to turn me out. He didn't try to do any of that stuff, I guess. I feel like he had put me on a higher pedestal, which, yeah, he never tried to turn me out or anything like that. But yeah, the relationship was extremely unhealthy, extremely toxic. It was physically, emotionally, psychologically abusive. And I'm not saying that I was always the victim. I was also the perpetrator. That's something that I'm not proud of. But he brought out the absolute worst in me. Yeah, the absolute worst. And we did this off and on for some years. He cheated on me many times throughout that. I felt like I had no self-worth. I felt no one would be attracted to me. I felt like damaged goods. And so I stayed. I stayed longer than I should have, because I wasn't great. You know, I was allowing this person to disrespect me like this. I was allowing this person to disrespect me, hurt me. That was love. I had love confused for dysfunction. Well, I had my parents to thank for that. My parents' relationship was completely dysfunctional until they split. But I normalized it, because I'm like, okay, well, I can handle this. I'm gonna go off camera to readjust my towel. I'll be back. Okay, back. It was, yeah, so I had normalized the dysfunction, and yeah, I didn't think I deserved any better. So it wasn't until so then we had broken up before. I broke up with him, I think, like 2 or 3 times. And so the first time I broke up with him, his mom reached out to me and told me it was my fault that her son was doing coke. And so I said, wow, okay, I'm not responsible for your son doing drugs. Are you serious? I'm not taking that responsibility. Even at 18 years old, I do that. So he was down bad. And come to find out, his mother turned him on to crystal when he was 14. So that right there tells you like what type of background he came from. And that's what I'm going to say about his family. I want to provide respect if any of them are watching or anything. That happened. He called me one day, soon after we broke up, and told me that 2 things were going to get ready to happen. It was either he was going to go to jail or he was getting ready to die. One of the 2, right? So I said, okay, well, let's meet up, let's talk, because that sounds super serious. Like, even though we're not together anymore, I don't want you to, like, feel hopeless. Like, there's no hope in the world, right? Uncle Nene, thank you. Thank you. And so we met up, and then we went to a store. He got some things, whatever. Come to find out, he ends up telling me after the fact that he stole his credit card and went on a shopping spree. It's like, what the fuck? Like, I can be implicated in this. I don't want to be implicated in your shit. Like, I don't want anything to do with this. So that happened. So I kept my distance from him for a while because I was like, your criminality, like that's you. Don't bring me down with that. I'm not with that. So it was like a week or two later, he was on the phone with me driving when cops surrounded him, and he said, "Oh my God, there's cops everywhere. They're gonna pull me over. They're gonna take me in." And I was like, "Just pull over." And so so there was a manhunt out for him. In fact, his story hit the news where he and a friend of his was in his car, and they did a very unthinkable thing. And so there was a manhunt for him. And so I was on the phone when that happened. And so after that, I was like, okay, we're going to get back together because he really needs me right now. Like, he needs me. I'm his only hope. I'm the only person that believes in him. The ride or die mentality, unfortunately. And so, thank you. I appreciate that. That is my grandmother, my tattoo. But what was I? Okay, so he got locked up. We go and visit him in jail twice a week. Mind you, that trip for me was like at least an hour every week. But I was just like, I have to be there. He has no one else. Blah, blah, blah. Yeah, no. And so he gets out. We get back together. It's a shit show. It's a constant shit show. Our whole relationship was a shit show. I lost my self-worth completely. It wasn't until he had got arrested and one more time he got out. I'm skipping a whole bunch of stuff. I got a restraining order. Okay, so I got a restraining order on him because he attempted to sexually assault me when he found out that I was talking to someone else. Mind you, we were not together at this time. And so it terrified me because the look in his eyes was completely black. He, let's see here. So what I'm doing is I'm not responding to negative comments. And you know what? I'm going to leave this one here because Uncle Nene got me. Thank you. Okay, so mind you, I'm 18 at this point, 18, 19, 20, 21, okay? Okay. So I'm glad that I went through this when I was younger and not at my current age because I see women going through situations like this, and had they just learned the lesson, and perhaps maybe it's not for me to judge, right? So it's like we learn lessons as we experience them. I'm not ashamed of my past. These things happen. I'm not that person then. Back then, I felt like I could help everyone. It's like, oh, this person had a really terrible background. They grew up terrible. They don't have the supports that I have. I have resources. I have love. I have this. Let me help people. Well, it's not up for me to help people that don't want to be helped. That was the ultimate lesson that I learned from this situation. And so eventually I went and I got a restraining order against him. Mind you, I did this all on my own. I didn't have any help, any support. And then I was still engaging with him until one day I had an epiphany. I woke up and I was like, I don't want to deal with this anymore. I'm done. And I was done. So I understand when working with clients therapeutically that are stuck in domestic violence situations, I understand firsthand what it's like and what it takes to leave a situation like that. There's no judgment. And that's the important thing, right? So I was finally ready to leave. I left, and he just could not handle the fact that I decided to leave. So the number that I have now was because I had to change it because he was harassing me, threatening me, although violating the restraining order. And so I had to change my number. And I was granted a restraining order for 5 years. And he every year, so this is what reminds me of Mercury Retrograde. Every year he violated the restraining order and reached out to me via Facebook. Even though I blocked him, he would still find a way to send me a message, and then I would go and report him for, violating the restraining order. I want to block this person. I can't. The only thing I can do is just remove. Yeah. Okay, so thank you, Uncle Nene. I appreciate it. Thank you, DHDL. Thank you. I have free speech, and I do too. Move on if I. Okay, yep, that's right. Thank you. I appreciate it. So that's when I was 21. Okay, so I am not 21 now. I'm in my 30s. But yeah, and it even got to a point where his the baby mom at the time. Yeah, he had multiple children when I met him. When I met him, he had one. And then we found out while we were together that he had another one that was before me. And I encouraged him to be a better father. I encouraged him to be present in his child's life. And that girl was a child. We were 19. She was younger than that. And that was a bad decision because the girl was very emotionally immature and she assaulted me. And that was a whole nother. We had kids. Okay. So this mother of his kids reached out to me on social media, I don't know, some years after the fact of the restraining order, and I'm like, who are you? How do you even know who I am? What? I don't know how, he must have told her who I was, my spelling, my name is very unique. He had to have told her who I was, okay? So she finds me on Facebook. She sends me a message and it basically says, your ex still loves you because he has your name tatted on him. And I'm like, wait, you must be on drugs because this doesn't make any sense. Why would you go out of your way to contact me to tell me that? You knew he had my name tatted on him before you got with him. What's the deal? So that happened. And then come to find out where my dad was living in these apartments, guess who his neighbors were? That girl and him were his neighbors. My dad didn't like him from the get-go. In fact, when my dad first met him, when I was 18 years old, my dad looked at him and said, I don't even know why my daughter's with you because you're a clown. And he started laughing. And he was like, get the fuck up out of my house, because that's how my dad is. And he saw it. I couldn't see it then. So, that relationship was definitely a message and a lesson for me. Because now I know, So anyway, so he would tell him, don't talk to my daughter when she comes over here, because I would go and go grocery shopping for my dad or go grocery shopping with my dad. Just helping. My dad's older. My dad had me when he was my age. So he's considered elderly at this point. So the last time I saw him, thank God I was in therapy. I was in my graduate program, and I had just came from taking my dad grocery shopping, and he walked right past me. And I hadn't been that close to him in maybe 5 or 6 years, and I was terrified. My central nervous system was on fire. You wouldn't know because I hold anxiety pretty well as far as masking, but I struggled with a lot of anxiety growing up, and so I've learned how to mask it, as those people that struggle with depression are able to mask it. I was very well to mask that, but it was dysregulating, and I'm so glad I was in therapy during that time, because then I was able to process it in a safe, healthy way and be able to have a chance to heal from it. Okay, hold on a second, I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. I'm sorry you have been through a lot. I hope your fiance will take care of you, and you guys will have you guys may be together for many years. Thank you, Uncle Nene. I appreciate that. Yes, I've grown a lot to be even able to be in the relationship that I am now, healthy. This is the healthiest relationship I've ever had in my entire life, and we've been together for 6 years now. almost 6 years. So there's that. But when I saw him that day, drugs had really taken over his life. He looked horrible, a shell of the person that I saw before. So after I was done processing and healing, that relationship, my own self-worth and everything, I now have empathy for him, because some people just don't have a chance to be better in life. And I hate to say that, but now looking back, I'm just like, fuck, like he was fucked from the beginning, from the day he was born. He didn't have a supportive atmosphere that I had. Although I had dysfunctional parents, I knew that my parents loved me. I had a stability with my grandparents. I had a whole system, a village caring for me. I never went a day without feeling unloved, ever. But he did, and he was abused. He's never told me this, but I'm pretty sure there was some sexual assault in his childhood. Pretty sure. And his mother was verbally and physically abusive towards him. So I don't judge people. I'm just like, their stories, their backgrounds, they don't make us who we are. They're part of our story, but we all have the ability to heal if we choose to. And it's hard, right? It's hard to heal. It's hard to be honest and say, this is where I'm at. This is what happened to me. I'm not my past. I'm not what happened to me. But yeah, like he would come up every year and reach out to me for the longest time. And I haven't heard from him since that day that I saw him at my dad's. He didn't say anything to me. He walked literally right past me, and I saw how down bad he was, and it was sad. But I couldn't reflect on that. I can only reflect on what my body was going through at that time. Then my dad was standing in his apartment window watching the correspondence to make sure that he didn't say anything to me, that he didn't do anything to me. It was crazy. I would definitely say that my childhood was not privileged. I did not come from a family with financial means. I had a strong sense of family, but I did not, all my basic needs were taken care of, but I didn't have wants. I didn't have my wants taken care of. I took care of that when I was old enough to work. And now, if I want something, I'm gonna make sure I get it. I'm gonna find the means, the resources. I'm gonna do what I can to make sure that I have what I need and what I want. So my childhood definitely wasn't perfect, but I had more of a chance than he did. And so yeah, that's my story about Mike number one. Mike number one, he was the one that started this whole self-worth, self-love journey of mine. Before that experience, I didn't have any issues with my self-image, my self-worth, none of that. In fact, I really loved myself. I really loved how I looked. I didn't have any major issues until that relationship. But that relationship was a karmic relationship, one that I'm able now to look back on and reflect on. And it provides me the insight and the experience to help others, like I said, that are in current situations as such. Like I have a client now who's in a domestic violence situation, and I meet them where they're at and also remind them how strong they are. So whenever they're able to get to the point where they're finally done, they, I can understand is what I'm saying. So I'm saying all of that to say that healing is possible, right? Like, thankfully this happened in my early 20s, like I previously said. So I don't have that. It did take me years to overall heal, because there was Michael number 2, which was a shorter amount of time, but he had way more of a profound experience on me and my growth. Short amount of time, but the most painful, if you can believe it. I didn't go through any physical abuse with him. Michael number 2, it was strictly emotional manipulation, and yeah, he met me when I was at my lowest. Mike number 1 met me when I was at my highest as a young adult. I was working, I graduated from high school. He never graduated from high school. He was not working when I met him. I had encouraged him to go into adult school. He was going to adult school. He got a job. He saved money to buy his own car. Like, he was doing great with growth and stuff in our relationship because of me. He had someone to help him. He had someone to teach him. You know? I was dumb enough to get, we have matching tattoos, but I got mine covered up. We have matching tattoos, but I got mine covered up. And so I don't know if he still has his, but at that time when that child's mother of his was with him, he had still had it. Because I was a positive impact in his life, but also very destructive. But he created this monster within me. It was just like the right mixtures just mixed to be terrible, you know? But yeah, so that's why I'm sharing the story today, Mercury Retrograde. If an ex comes back into your life, think about what the purpose would be, what lessons is there to learn, right? This time is about reflection, redirection, refocusing. So if any past occurrences are coming up, you have to think, like, what are some other lessons that I possibly didn't learn here that I'm learning now, right? Like, that's what I want everyone to be aware of during this Mercury retrograde, okay? I'm able to talk about my past because it's not who I am. I'm not a monster. I am lovable. I give love. I can be healthy. I can help others and also have that boundary. Like, someone doesn't want help, I can't help them, right? And so it's just learning. Life is all about learning experiences, right? Like, we come here, we experience, and we learn for our soul's growth. That's what it is, okay? We can all come to a happy ever after in life, okay? There's no way that if I would have met my partner now, back then, that we would have been together. Because I wouldn't have been able to see my worth, and I wouldn't have been able to see his worth. It wouldn't have worked. And where he was at this time in my life, he was not ready for me either. That's all I'm going to say about that. But we came together when it was the best timing for us, the most aligned energy for us. And, you know, I had to prepare myself for this union that I'm in now. A lot of lessons, and I still continue to learn, right? Like, I can be extremely selfish, specifically around food. I'm a twin, so I grew up with a twin sister. Having to share is not difficult for me except for food. Like, I'm so serious about food, and it's not because I have scarcity of a lack of food or no access to food. I just really enjoy food. So I would say that's one area of selfishness that I have. But because of my divine counterpart, I'm able to, he mirrors things in me that there's always opportunities for me to grow and heal and become a better version of myself. And so surrendering to that process has been one of the hardest things that I've done, but I feel like I'm more into the flow of surrendering now than I've ever been in 6 years. That says a lot. That says a lot. But I'm in the flow. And once you get into that flow, anything is possible, my friends. Anything is possible. If you're here with me this long and you haven't liked the live, please go ahead and consider liking the live. Comment, let me know. It does help my channel grow, and I'm being completely vulnerable with you guys right now, because I want you to know that I understand. I've been there. I've been through a lot of hardships to be where I am today. And so I'm not one of those therapists or mentors that's like, oh yeah, everything's light and great, and no. Life is always gonna life, but it's like, what are you gonna do with that life, right? So yeah, that's my Mercury Retrograde story. I finished it a little bit before I was done. I still have some stuff to do with my hair. One of my clients told me last week that my hair is thick. I was like, my hair is thick? She's like, yeah. I said, oh, I've never really considered it thick. I look at other creators and I'm like, oh my God, their hair is so thick. I wish mine was like that. Mine is healthy. It's thick. I've been wearing protective styles for, like, as of the last 2 years. And it wasn't until I became self-employed and I work from home that I really, like, I was wearing wigs. I like wigs because you get that different variation in color and stuff without putting any chemicals in your hair, right? Hi, Rosa. Welcome. Let's see. I want to make sure I don't moon you guys. What was I saying? I think I need to put some more. Hold on a sec. I need to situate myself. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. Rosa, if you're still here, welcome. But yeah, thank you for being live with me here today. It's a way for me to really connect with you guys. I really want to, and now I have the freedom to do so now. Because I'm actively creating my space. And so, yes, going live is one of the ways that I can connect with everyone. And what better time to do it while I'm like actively doing my hair, getting myself ready for the day. I have a client, a therapy client at 11, and then I need to create my video, my YouTube video for next week. I dropped one today, so let me know what your thoughts are on it. It's about the difference between intuition and fear, and are you able to discern which from which? Okay, so if you're interested in that, check it out, comment, let me know where you're at with things. If you're able to discern between fear and your intuition. Okay, I would love to hear from you. Because I am teaching spiritual development in my Blossom into Your Light mentorship circle, which begins August 4th. So just in a few weeks. It might be on the 3rd. Sunday might be a better day, honestly, for everyone. But if you're interested in that, I do have a waitlist, and you can find that down in the description. And it also provides, the waitlist also provides specific detail on what you can expect from the circle. It's a 6-month commitment to growth. And I know how powerful 6 months can be. I literally just ended a 6-month mediumship circle. I've been practicing mediumship for 15 years now, and I haven't ever had a development circle, and I really needed to get back to basics because I had been struggling a lot with imposter syndrome, despite the fact that I've been training for 15 years. COVID really hit a number on me. I was just in the groove of like doing in-person events. I was doing in-person group readings, and they were great experience. And then COVID hit, and then I could no longer do those live, so then I took a break and I just really focused on my counseling career. And now that I got that situated, I'm coming back to basics. And so I'm really excited about that as well. I'm going to be doing more in-person group sessions. So I love that. In Sacramento, I'm doing a live event on the 16th of August. I'm going to start promoting that this week. So if you're here and you're not on my emailing list, check that out. It's going to be in my link in my bio, link in the description. It's on Substack. That's where I host my email list and where I write. So I'm multifaceted, multi-talented, and Substack is a one-stop shop for me to do a lot of my creativity. And so, yeah, you can find me there if you're interested. If you like my vibe, go ahead and consider following me on Substack. You can find that link in the descriptions. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Today, I'm excited to meet with my client. Working in therapy is very similar to how I work in my spiritual practice. The thing about going live on my phone is that I cannot create I can't specify who can comment. So when I go live on my laptop, I can specify subscribers only can comment, which I want to be able to have that option on my phone when I go live. So instead of actively paying attention to those that are negatively commenting, I just delete them. I delete and then report as harassment and bullying because that's exactly what it is. I want to thank Uncle Nene for speaking up for me, and then there's another individual that was here that was speaking up for me throughout this live, and I just want you to know that I saw, and thank you. Like, I'm not ashamed of my past. My past is not who I am. It's the experiences and the things that I've learned from my past. Okay? When people come back around, think about it. Think about why that situation ended, why it ended. Okay, why is it coming back around? Is there something else for you to learn from the situation? Perhaps a strength, like me, right? Like knowing that I could do better than this, I am better than this, I want something that is aligned with me, you know? When we're in our dark place, it's hard for us to see anything can be more for us, right? And so I share my story of hope, in hope, that others that are going through similar situations can understand that anything is possible. And what I feel like is possible is the dude eventually getting some type of like what do you call it? One of those, a pump, because this is hard. This is hard. A pump would be so much easier. I feel like I would be done too quicker if I had one. So I'm just making sure that all the strands are coated so that when my hair dries, it won't be frizzy. But yeah, I've learned to just love who I am. I'm not perfect, no one's perfect, but I've definitely have come a long way in my growth, my self-healing journey, my self-love journey. It's shared by experience. I understand, even if I don't know your exact situation, I can empathize. And empathy is a lot. That's how we stay connected to one another, right? Like, I could never go online and bully and troll people. What? Especially people that I don't know. It's weird. Like, it's really easy for me to praise people online. If there's something that I don't agree to, I skim past it. I don't have to engage. I don't engage. I know a lot of these people just want some type of recognition, And so it's through negative reinforcements that they do that, and I'm not going to acknowledge that. I'm not going to acknowledge. I just will delete. But I'm almost done, and then I'm going to diffuse my hair, and then I'm going to stretch it. Figure out what I'm going to, well, I know what I'm going to record today. I already have it scheduled out. The new moon is coming up on the 24th. I did go live last week, and I did some quick energy check-ins. I work with intuitive tarot as well. I'm really good with working with intuitive tarot. Hi, honey. I'm really good with working with intuitive tarot, and so I want to remind my community, like, hey, I can also help answer some questions energetically, intuitively. And the clarity, new moon, and full moon readings are they're at a discounted rate. They're 45 minutes long, and you'll receive a voice message of the reading after the reading to follow up with. I will be promoting that this week, since the new moon is this week. I will be available on Saturdays for that reading, and it's only for 3 aligned individuals that would like to work with me in that way. So if anyone is interested, again, check me out on Substack. Link in the description, okay? I'm almost done here. Whew. I guess I do have a lot of hair. That's okay though. That is okay. I'm gonna try to do like a no part wash and go. I do like how that looks, but because I have layers in my hair, it looks weird after like a few days, but that's okay. I have a permanent part. So I'm trying something different. I usually wash my hair on Sundays, but I was not feeling good yesterday, so I allowed my body to rest. As a projector energy type with human design, it's salient that I rest when my body tells me to rest. We don't have the energy to create things like a generator or a manifester. So we have to really take heed to our energy type. And I don't have no qualms about taking a nap or resting or not taking in more clients, because I'm not working in scarcity and working with my energy, and that's a difference. I had found out about human design a few years ago from my business coach, and one second. And I wasn't ready to hear the message of human design, but they got something to human design for real. There's something about it that really works and really makes sense. And so now I'm more receptive to it, and it's definitely helped me as an entrepreneur, and where best to put my energy, the systems I've created for myself, and needing to delegate things. It's made my life so much easier, and it's made me more able to be consistent here on YouTube for you guys. It's helped me a lot. And so I'm very, very thankful to have that knowledge. I even tell my therapy clients, the ones that are open to energy and whatnot, I do talk to them about human design as well and ask them to do their own research, and then we process it in session what that means for them. I don't gatekeep. Just like I don't gatekeep bananas gel. Okay, so this is what this is looking like right now. Make sure everything is situated. I'm going to blow dry. I'm going to diffuse my hair. I'm just going to finger coil some sections. And then I'm going to diffuse and then stretch. Stretch, 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 stretch. Those that are still here, I appreciate your support, the engagement. Thank you for hearing me out. Healing's always possible. Use this time in Mercury Retrograde to really reflect on things, refocus your thoughts. Okay? Remember, you are not your past. You have the power, the innate power, mind you, to change your reality to what you want it to be. That will require healing, okay? Especially if you're in a scarcity existence, you don't know any better. Just because you don't know any better doesn't mean that you can't have any better. I'm a firm believer of that. I feel like this needs a little bit more gel. Do not want any poofiness. Just gonna touch up some areas, and then I'm gonna call it quits. But again, thank you so much for everyone that tuned in. Okay? Retrograde is not a bad energy. It's not anything to be afraid of. Just think about, what can I learn from this situation? What is this coming up for me? Where's the lesson in this? Why is this person coming up right now? Okay? Do I need to revisit my past? Is there something in my past that has something to teach me? Right? Oh, thank you. I appreciate that, Eric. Eric says my self-esteem is attractive. It's taken a lot. It's taken years of healing to get to this point. So I know that if I could do it, anyone can do it. I'm not that special. I'm not that spectacular. What people see in me is often a reflection of themselves. So this is what this is looking like right now. I'm going to diffuse it. It looks super short, but it's not super short. My hair is like down to here. And I have different layers. Let's see. Yeah. It's a good length. I haven't had it straightened in a while. I'm not really interested. It's summer anyway. So yeah, thank you guys. I appreciate you. Thank you for hanging out with me. If you're not subscribed and you are positive individuals like Dr. Nene and Eric and any other positive individuals that I come across in this live, please consider following me, okay? Check out one of my recent videos and comment, let me know. Again, if you're interested in purchasing any of the Deuce products, I highly recommend them, especially bananas. You can find my affiliate link in my description. I am compensated by your purchase. However, I don't, and I'll never support or promote anything that I don't absolutely love, okay? So there's that. If you're interested in getting any new moon or full moon clarity readings with me, be sure to add your email to my Substack account. It's where I house my email list, and it's where I write. Okay, so if you're into writing and reading, you'll want to follow me on there. Please note that I am available for services, which you can find on my website, www.blossomandrise.com, which is also in the description. And if you're interested in Blossom to Your Light Mentorship Group, the waitlist link is down in the description. Everything is down in the description, okay? So thank you so much. Let's start this week off strong. We got this, and I will see you soon. Bye for now.